The Power Hour is live. KFAN.com/watch is where you can find it weekdays at 8. All thanks to Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed.
What's the name of that place again? The hangar that we're broadcasting from in Duluth on Friday? What is that place called? Anybody remember?
Man, I didn't know.
I don't remember the name of it.
I don't either.
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
But it's at the airport.
Yeah, come see us at the airport.
Yeah, we're at the air show.
Yeah.
We're right
What time
there.
will that be?
Friday, 5:30 to 9.
Hey, Marzi.
Yeah.
Before we jump right back into sports and stuff. Last night I was watching this comedy a special on Netflix by a guy named Dusty Slay. And he's a guy that I've heard a few things. Name's Dusty, and his last name is Slay.
He's super funny.
And he's really funny. I've heard a few things. I was like, man, I'm gonna give his show a chance. And so I watched it. It was very, very good.
Okay.
But he had this one bit I thought you would like the most. Do you remember the band Lone Star?
Oh, for sure.
Barb
Baby,
loves
I'm
Lone Star.
amazed by you.
Listen to this bit.
There's another song I like by a band called Lone Star. This song's called I'm Already There. Guy leaves for the weekend. You think he's gone for the rest of his life. If you've not heard the song, it's about a guy. He's out working the road. I don't think it really says what he's doing. I imagine it's music. It said he calls his wife from a lonely, cold hotel room. Well, it seems like a booking issue to me. You know what I mean? It's not hard to find a hotel with heat these days. That's not even something they advertise anymore. It's tough to find a hotel without heat, to be honest with you. Get a better hotel, you still be lonely, but you be comfortable. You know what I mean? And he's talking to his wife. He's crying, I imagine. And he hears this little kid in the background. His kid's small. And his kid gets on the phone. His kid goes, "Dad, when you coming home?" This is what he says to his kid. He goes, "I'm already there." I was like, why are you doing that to that kid? That kid's small, man. He doesn't get the poetry you're doing right now. That kid's probably like, "What? You're home? Why are we doing this weird phone thing here? Let's get together. Let's spend some time together. Play catch or something. Mom said you were gone. I don't know why she said that." Then the dad he says something like this. He goes, "I'm the sunshine in your hair, son. I'm the whisper in the wind. I'm the shadow on the ground." That kid's probably like, "Mom, what's wrong with Dad?"
Dusty Slay, everybody.
That's great.
It's really
Was
good.
it on Netflix, you said?
Yeah, Netflix, yeah.
He's in Fargo and Bismarck on June 7th and 8th.
Lucky.
How about that? And he comes here in November, I believe.
That's funny.
Good stuff, man. I love when you
He's
find a new
funny,
comedian.
man.
Is he, it sounds like kind of Gaffigan-like. Is he pretty clean? And
There's a few curse words in it, but not very many.
Nothing.
Yeah, I would say you're right. I didn't even notice until you said that.
Yeah, he's
pretty
November
funny.
23rd.
That's really good stuff. Family stuff
At the
like that.
Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Oh, good. That Fitzgerald.
Yeah, great spot.
I enjoyed that, Hawk. Thanks.
You're welcome. I thought you probably
Yeah,
would.
Good stuff.
and I know the song.
Dave Breitner.
That song,
Yeah.
Wales. Lone Star Wales.
At Lone Star, yeah. They got some bangers.
Yeah, shout out to Jess Frasper. That's one of his favorite bands. So I've heard a lot more Lone Star than I ever thought I would. He loves them. Great stuff. Good stuff, man. Dusty
It's
Slay.
time for Fan 5,
Working, man.
brought to you by Builders and Remodelers.
Thank you, builders, and thank you, remodelers.
Thanks, builders and remodelers. My sources say Superior College Hangar on Friday. You can get more information about attending this free
that's
event.
right. That's
it's
right.
a
That's where
free
we're at.
event at northlandfan.com. Get it? Because it's KFAN, like in the Northland, so it's northlandfan.com.
Yeah, did Abbott email you or did you delete it?
He just texted me. I deleted
You
his emails.
saved his number?
Yeah, just in case. For stuff like this. Chris Finch on with PA at 9 o'clock also.
Look at that.
Hell yeah, man.
Finchy.
Finster.
That's good luck charm when he calls in from the road.
Well, good. Let's go.
Like you said, you don't want to spend that much time with your family. I think he's happy to be back on the road. That's a great line. It's been difficult. I'm sure. I can't imagine. He's been sitting there like he's a fan behind, the second row, and you sometimes forget he's the coach. You know what I mean? And
And you know what? The setup in Denver was actually better
than
for
here.
him. He's actually closer to
he is.
where that head coach sort of paces
Touch it.
in Denver than he
Right.
was in Minnesota, just by the way the arena is configured. So maybe there's something to that as well.
Speaking
For
of,
him, anyway.
of hating your family and not spending time together, Sarah Paulson, you familiar with her?
Yes.
She's in a lot of movies, and she was in
played
American
Marsha
Horror
Clark.
Story and stuff.
man,
Exactly.
she's so good in those.
She's very good.
Yeah.
Everything.
She says the secret to her long relationship with Holland Taylor is that they don't live together.
They don't live together?
They don't
so
live
not
together.
separate
Dude,
bedrooms.
great
separate
idea.
houses.
And it's still called, quote unquote, a relationship?
Sure.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic was on, Christopher.
On and loud.
Very loud, very forceful.
Well, come on.
Very
That
emphatic.
makes a lot of sense.
I mean,
That's the key to
No.
their
Then you're
They've
not-
been together a long time. They don't live together.
just is there an elaboration? Are they in different cities? Are they next door? Are they?
professionally just busy and we
No.
don't know.
I'm going to need more information.
It's an editorial comment by
I think
Cory
separate
Cove.
bedrooms at times, if you have sleep issues or a snorer or something, that makes logical sense, and we should be able to normalize that a little more. But separate houses,
cities.
nah.
Well, then how do you feel about like Cody and the Sister Wives, where there's 4 or 5 houses and there's one wife in each
Even
house?
Better idea.
Your mic's on.
Man, you got good ideas.
Your mic's
Cor.
on.
I'd like to see the alternative show to that called Sister Husbands. And when there's one gal, she's a sister, and she's got all these fellas.
But she has to
And
be
the-
the
Videos that you can find.
she has to be the physical
Tommy,
equivalent
text your
though of
link,
Cody.
please.
Which is
Cody's
very
Like a 5.5.
Oh,
Right.
Cody's a 2.5.
If it's Carrie Russell, there's going to be 97,000 houses. Everybody's going to say, just I'll live in any one you want. You got to get the equivalent of a Cody. Whatever the hell the hair equivalent of is that stupid little rat tail that he's got going. The mullet thing.
You're
is that
being
show
kind.
still on?
I don't know. My wife used to watch it. I don't know.
You're
if
being
it's still-
kind. Cody's a 2.5. He's
That's a good question. Is he
Well, Marnes is a
above
lady.
or under average looking?
Marnes, would you look and tell us your opinion
Okay,
on
Google
on
Cody, Sister
Cody.
Wives, and just give us
here. I got it right here.
above
Marks.
average, average, or below
And
average.
don't feel bad. He doesn't care. He's got a lot of wives.
Yeah.
He's cool with it, you know?
Honest assessment, Marnes.
Yeah,
Above
be
average,
honest for
average,
once in
or
your
under
life,
average?
Did you show her porn?
No.
No, that's Martin's new bit. That's genius.
Oh.
Your thoughts, Martin?
Your thoughts. Just you can be
Yeah,
be
be- I
critical.
don't care.
We're not asking you to be super mean. Just be critical.
Well, I had to get a good look at him, so I took up my blinks and I Cody.
Yeah.
Those are so cool, by the way. I like those blinks. Those are cool. Where'd
Thank
you
you.
get
They're
those?
very convenient.
Is that what those
and-
called?
Yeah, they're called blinks.
I like those.
Very
Blinks
funny.
readers.
What do you
Blinksreaders.com.
think of? What do you think of him?
The curls and the gel is an interesting mixture.
Cool.
He's not my type.
Mine.
1 to 10.
Yeah, you got a 1 to 10 in here.
3.
Oh, he's
wow.
below average.
He looks
Yeah.
like
Kind of a hot mess, isn't he?
he looks like the guy in that Cher movie Grew Up.
Now, see, that's mean.
What?
Because
Cher?
we're going to assume you mean the movie Mask
talking
and
about
Rocky
Mask?
Dennis.
That's
No.
me.
Yeah, it's
Which
exactly
Cher movie?
No.
Moonstruck?
No, you know
prick.
No, you know what Cher movie I meant.
I guess I don't.
Yeah,
come on, we don't
hang on,
know.
hang on.
No,
Don't
that's
Wikipedia
exactly-
Cher. Name any other Cher movie besides Moonstruck and
you
Mask.
Did it. You did this to yourself. You lay in your filth.
Yeah, you
exactly
said it.
who you were
You
referring
did
to.
this to
Name
yourself.
any other movie she was in besides those 2 I just named.
I mean, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
is she in that?
I meant Pierce
great film.
Brosnan. He's in that, right, Hawk?
Great film.
Yeah,
Hawk
Cody and
lo-
Pierce
Meryl
Brosnan.
Streep was in
see?
that.
Very similar.
What'd you call me?
Hawk loves Mamma Mia, right, Hawk's
Don't
daddy?
change the subject. You lay in your filth.
But you do.
I do. I love it. It's a
You
great
know
film.
who Cody actually looks like
Go on.
besides the mask grown up?
I didn't say that.
Is Chip Gaines from Chip and Joanna. He looks like a
hell is
unkept
that?
version
Oh,
of
boy.
Chip.
The house guy,
that is a-
house couple.
This is going to be a rough day for Chip Gaines down at Magnolia Farms.
Well, Chip's a handsome
boy.
one, but he grew his hair out, and he's giving me a little Cody
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, Rosie sees it.
Chip is a significantly better looking
Oh yeah,
version.
yeah.
Corey,
Chip's
you
an
like what
8.
you like.
Chip's
Yeah.
an 8. That's why I said an unkept, unclean, unhandsome version of Chip Gaines.
Hawk, do you know what Chip Gaines looks like?
I don't even know who it is.
From Fixer Upper, right?
Don't
Chip and
and Joe.
Joanna.
don't know.
Just Google
Yes,
him.
for sure.
He looks like Michael Kenny from Defined Destinations.
Yeah,
He does a little bit.
Like, you're right, he's hideous.
Oh, Michael.
Love you, Michael. Kidding.
Oh my God, he does.
The main Google photo looks
I guess he
exactly
kinda
like
does.
Michael.
Yeah, it's weird how different this guy can look. Like in this one picture here, he's like, that could be Men's Health.
Yeah.
And this one, it could be like, have you seen this man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, long-winded way of asking, Martin. So you are not interested in joining Cody's clan in Utah? You don't want to be in that group? You can have your own townhouse.
How many bedrooms?
As many as you want. I mean, he sleeps over once every 6 or 7 nights.
Oh, gosh. The thought of that is just hideous.
Oh.
Yeah.
For who?
That night or the other 6 days of loneliness? Because that would be lovely. Right? 6 days to yourself.
You would sacrifice those 6. You would sacrifice the 1 in order to have those 6.
Well, think if it was reversed for a second. If Kerry Russell did this and it was like, hey, I'll come over to your place Tuesday. If I could say, I could have Kerry Russell every Tuesday and 6 days to myself to go play cards, where do I sign up? What do I care what she's doing the other 6 nights? This is a sweet deal. But she looks like Kerry Russell, not like Cody.
Yeah.
Freaking Cody.
Looks like the Cher's person in Mermaids.
God, you did what you Googled her. You did.
What?
You didn't remember
You
the
sure
movie
as hell did.
Mermaids?
Yeah, right, Hawk. Great film.
What other movies did you just miraculously remember that she was in?
Moonstruck.
Yeah, Moonstruck.
I already
Great
said
film.
that one.
Oh, you did.
Isn't she in Witness?
Okay.
Witness. The Harrison Ford?
Oh, you really coming up with these. That's impressive.
Wonder how.
Man.
You just need a little
Hello.
time to think.
Isn't she in Steel Magnolia? Directed.
That was fan 5.
Yeah. Funny.
Or if you're Cody, that was fan 3, I guess.
You win. You always do.
I don't know why I don't feel bad ripping him. Not even one piece of me. I don't feel bad about it at all. Nope, he doesn't care. He's not listening. The Power Trip Morning Show returns after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
Hey, final segment of your little Power Trip Morning Show. Thank you for tuning in. PJ Fleck talked about Antoine Winfield Jr.'s record-setting contract for a defensive back in the NFL. Congratulations, Antoine.
It's not shocking, is it? It's so Antoine. And you know what? He's probably sitting there saying, hey, just probably really thankful, smiling, just saying, hey, I love football. That's what comes along with it. But the money has never driven him. I always tell people when they were talking to me about Tyler Newman, I was like, I hate making comparisons of player to player because that never works out, right? But I said, he is as close to Antoine Winfield Jr. as I've ever seen. And I said, it's not just the skill set. I said, it's the love for the game. I've never seen somebody smile on the football field more than Antoine Winfield Jr.
What could have been? Think about how much money his dad made over how long a career.
Yep.
He's got to be thrilled from it. I mean, nowhere close to anything for 1 year.
I bet his son just got a bigger signing bonus than he earned in his career.
100%.
Antoine Winfield Sr. belongs in the Vikings Ring of Honor. He's
I
one
don't
of the best
disagree with that.
cornerbacks they've ever had,
he's-
if
Oh my
not
God,
the best corner they've ever had.
All right. Yeah, I'm on board.
Can't
with that.
argue with that. Yeah, good for Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah,
Duh.
yeah.
That's a lot of money for a 25-year-old.
Man,
Good for him.
Good dude.
I would just retire.
I think you have
Don't play.
I think you have to. The
think
check
you have to
probably won't-
fulfill your
probably won't cash if you don't. But hey, I feel where you come from. Right, Martins?
I hear you. I mean, it's a little high for what I'm looking for monetarily wise.
Too much money.
But
Do you want a pool or not, Marins? Come on.
Do you want a fence?
Yeah.
Pond to be better for you.
Yep. Okay.
Now it's time for
Headlines brought to you by our friends at Wolf River Electric. If you want to get turned on, go solar with our friends at Wolf River Electric. Get those solar panels.
Yeah, I see those billboards everywhere.
Yeah. Get those solar panels. You guys ever heard the phrase art imitates life or art's
about
imitating
10,000
life?
times.
Right.
Yeah.
How many of us watched the latest season of Fargo?
Yeah, I did.
Loved
Right?
it.
Fantastic.
great.
John
Yes.
Hamm.
So damn
the gal
good.
from
Yeah,
Keely from Ted Lasso.
He was a bad man, John Hamm.
His character's name was Roy Tillman.
Yes.
I looked up exactly which episode it was because this is kind of freaky. Do you guys remember episode 8 where he goes to his campaign speech?
Yep.
And there were other Roy Tillmans on stage that were
embarrass him.
That were paid to embarrass him. And basically, I'm Roy Tillman. I'm running for sheriff.
Correct.
I'm Roy Tillman. I'm running for sheriff. And then he's sitting there going, what the bleep is going on? I'm Roy Tillman. What are you doing? And he got super embarrassed, super pissed.
Mad.
He threw a massive fit. It was awesome, right?
Right.
Check this out.
Give it to me, baby.
Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson is running for governor as a Democrat.
Good old Robert.
Bob Ferguson.
Yep.
Sitcom name.
A Republican operative named Glenn Morgan admitted he was behind this little trick. 2 other guys named Bob Ferguson filed to run against Bob Ferguson. The idea was to confuse voters and have the 3 Bob Ferguson split votes.
Dirty politics. Yep.
Fun bar.
That's almost exactly the plot of Fargo season 5.
Maybe that's how he got
let's
it.
just get a bunch of Bob Fergusons, and then everybody will vote for Bob. They might not be sure which one, and then the Republican will win, and the actual Bob Ferguson has no chance.
Yeah.
And then did you see where it says there was also a write-in candidate, Turd Ferguson?
Okay.
Great one. That's a good one.
It turns out, check this out, though. This is kind of
That's off the top
good.
of your head, wasn't it?
It turns out there's a law in Washington to prevent this exact thing. It's a felony to run for office just because you have the same name as someone else, and you can get up to 10 years in jail for it. The legit Bob Ferguson suggested the other 2 Bobs didn't know about that law and called on them to pull their names out before it was too late, which they did.
So they're gone.
So the plan has been foiled.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well, I mean, A for effort.
I mean, geez,
I might
though.
vote for the guy that tried to swindle that just for the creativity. And it probably took a lot of work to get those Bobs there on the ballot.
I guess you got to have a more rare name, right? There aren't 3 Marnie Gellners. You're the only one. If you run, you can't find other Marnie Gellners to run
Remember,
against.
the guy from SCTV took those dudes to the DMV and had them all change their names.
Yeah, Dave Foley.
Yeah.
God, he was great in that too.
What was his character? His character's name was
Hawk. What was his
Danish?
Molly Mulvihill.
Danish something.
Molly Mulvihill.
Danish.
Molly. Don't pick on Molly.
I'm not. I love her.
I know you do.
Danish.
That was just happened to be his
How was
character's
his
name.
last name?
Hold on, Corliss.
Tell me what it starts with. Danish something.
Give it a second.
Danish. You're right. Danish. My God, how do you remember
I think
that?
we covered that part of it.
I listened to this while
What
they were
was his
thinking.
last name?
Mars, listen to this.
Find
kid.
it?
Yeah.
What's it start with? Graves.
Why did you whisper?
Wow.
Because I didn't want to give it away.
Reeves.
You're very good at this.
Faced with a college football playoff triple header, the NFL is calling up broadcast network reinforcements for Saturday, December 21st.
Oh, this is a dilemma, yes.
NBC Sports announced Monday that it has acquired an extra NFL regular season game to air in the afternoon on Saturday, December 21st, a day that will feature the 3 college football playoff first-round games. Coverage will air on NBC Broadcast Network, Peacock, and Telemundo. Later in the day, Fox Sports executive Michael Mulvihill said the Fox Broadcast Network will also carry an NFL game on that day, presumably another afternoon contest leading into USC-UConn women's college basketball. So in other words, the NFL is literally programming against college football.
Correct. Wow. When they used to avoid it at all costs.
Why would they do that? Why do they have to own everything? Why do they have to continue swinging that thing around? Drives me crazy.
It's who they are. I mean, they never
like
used to
both
play
sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I want to be able to watch both.
Isn't there a game on Friday night of the first regular season?
Yeah, the Eagles and Green Bay.
Green Bay, right? Friday night. Then they always had a rule saying we're not going to go against high school football. We're not going to go up against it. It's not fair to the kids. Not fair to people. When did that change?
I know. Roser, listen to this. Yeah. The NFL had communicated to the CFP its desire that only 2 playoff games be scheduled for that date. When the CFP did not do that, the NFL got its stuff out.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, they normally would put that on NFL Network. They're putting it on
the network.
On the network because they're
D-words.
Yes.
Because they can.
Yeah, come on, man. I guess I don't care that much. Never mind.
No, but
But you get my point. I just don't know why you have to be
One of the reasons why the schedule was delayed in getting released is because they're negotiating with Amazon, Netflix, all these other services that are going to carry games this year. And they had to figure out the financial aspect of it, the scheduling. And that's why the schedule was supposed to be out last week. It's coming out, obviously, tomorrow now. But that's all part of parcel of the expanding world of the NFL, and it's never ending. We can never get enough.
Yeah, I think we can.
Well, there's a saturation point.
That is my point.
There will be at some point, Chris. I agree.
But I think the reason that we won't, and this is just my opinion, is the off season is so long. If the off season went like they ended the Super Bowl in February and they started up again in June,
like the
yes,
USFL,
we would get tired of it. But the off season is 6-7 months long. It's half a year.
Doesn't seem like it.
That's why people won't get tired of it.
I caught zero logic in all that.
No, you know I'm right.
Woody.
Pure gibberish.
The draft had more viewers than the World Series. Like, it will take a long time before people get sick of it.
Marzi, are you sick of it?
You know, I'm not the target audience, so I like the NFL for 6 months.
Yes.
And then I like to turn my attention elsewhere.
Yeah.
To Sauce's draft.
Yeah. Yeah. The NFL knows that it'll take a long time before people get sick of it.
Yeah.
The offseason's too long. I mean, the NBA's offseason is a month and a half. Hockey's offseason is 2 months,
Well,
right?
I never take any time off.
A little
Chris
bit
is
of
always
exaggeration.
working.
Thank you.
Good point, Hawk.
Listen to. Can I give another sports story there? What's your name, Cory? Before you go into your thingy.
Yes, sir.
Former Utah State forward Great Ozabor. Am I saying that right? Anybody know?
How do you spell great? Great?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. That's great.
Right.
And his last name is Osobor. Anyway, is transferring to Washington from Utah State after reaching NIL deals worth $2 million.
$2 million.
$2 million.
Yeah.
This goes back to what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, and when we had Parker Fox on to talk about this as well.
Yeah.
I do think what's going to have to happen is they're going to almost have to sign contracts. Because if somebody's going to give him, or a collection of people or businesses are going to give him $2 million, you better freaking stay there the rest of your college career. You have to stay.
Yeah, there
you
has
can't
to be
just
a
keep
minimum.
jumping.
I could not agree more. That's the only way to fix it. But again, I have no problem with them. Earn as much money as you possibly can. The players have been getting screwed forever.
But then, like signing a contract, then if they're committing the money, you got to commit to where you're going.
I agree. I'm good.
That might be the fix. Instead of just transfer portal over and over and over again. It's like, all right, we're going to give you a giant check, but then you're locked in for whatever it is, 2 or 3 years, whatever you end up agreeing to.
Correct. Otherwise, you got to pay the money back.
I wonder if we'll just have that, like 1 year deals, 2 year deals, all the way up to 4-year deals.
Probably.
But then with maybe some kind of out, like if I go to the NBA draft, then I give blank dollars back.
When it comes down to it, $2 million to a really, really rich person isn't that much. And if you really care about your basketball team, you could bring 5 superstar college basketball players in for like $10 million and dominate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something's got to be done.
Think what the Fab Five would have been worth had they.
Well said, Rosie.
I mean,
he said that well.
Yeah, you did.
At that point, they were paying for Chris Webber and Jalen. My God.
They probably were.
Well, I mean,
true.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Right,
Good point. Because they were better at it.
And much like Reggie Bush getting an apartment for his family, or whatever it was, who cares if the Fab Five got paid?
Yeah,
who cares?
It just was not legal at the time. Otherwise, who cares? Doesn't change how great they were.
Even going back to the great John Wooden, he had a money guy with him. I mean, there was many stories I heard about, the clean, perfect basketball coach, and he had his bag guy, as they call him.
Did you see the movie Blue Chips? That's how it works.
One of the best movies ever.
That was so good.
There's zero chance.
Nick Nolte.
I loved it.
Actually, but I bet he did see it.
And it had the one guy, the other tall guy.
Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway.
Cher was in that too.
It had Lark Voorhees.
Depending on the
Oh,
line.
Lisa Turtle.
Hawk loves Cher.
I do. I love to share. I'm a happy guy when I get to give things to people.
Our guy from the U just texted me and said a lot of times those NIL deals are signed contracts. Most of them are for 1 year.
Oh, okay. So they are.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought about the idea that you had to sign something
Paul.
to get that money, but of course you do. Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
And so maybe the companies that are offering the nil are doing it with the assumption that it might just be at 1 year.
Yeah, right.
But you're trying to get a way to have the players stay for multiple years.
Yeah,
you want commitment to the university.
Yeah, because even for 1 year, I would argue a lot of times you're probably not getting any ROI unless you can start building something with somebody. So it's, I don't know. I would have some, like, let's say it's a $2 million deal. I'd say, I'll give you $1 million this year. You get the other $1 million if you stay for a second year.
For sure. Incentivize it. Yeah.
It's some kind of a trigger clause that the longer you stay, the more money you get.
That's
What do I know?
probably where we're heading. It's all happening. It's fairly
fast.
new. It's still taking shape. So I would bet, Corey, that is probably where we're heading.
Let's hope so.
Can I lied to you, Corey. Can I tell you one more thing? I'm so sorry. I told you guys about that book, The Cost of These Dreams, yesterday by Wright Thompson. We talked about Michael Jordan and his sickness with winning. Roser, this guy Wright Thompson is he's a writer, a sports writer, and now I believe he writes for ESPN. But anyway, he wrote this book. It's been out for a couple of years. I'm just listening to it now. It's called The Cost of These Dreams: Sports Stories and Other Serious Business. He reads the articles that he wrote, right? And the first one's about Michael Jordan. He wrote one about this guy who fought Muhammad Ali. It's really, really been great. I listened to one last night about Urban Meyer.
Oh,
my God, is this guy sick in the head? Right?
Really?
In terms of what aspect of his life, there's a lot to unpack there.
His obsession with winning. Like they're at the very beginning of the article, when he's still, what was the first national championship he won? Would that have been Florida?
Was that
Probably Florida with
04?
Yeah.
That wasn't with Tebow, was it?
His daughter was having, that's right. His daughter was having a national signing day at her high school to go play volleyball somewhere. And
He skipped it?
Urban was sitting in his office, and his secretary comes in and says, "You better leave. She's about to have her signing." And he said, I can't do it.
Wow.
And she said, "You are leaving." So she literally forced him out of his seat. He went to the signing day. His daughter signs the national letter of intent to go play college.
He bolted?
No, it's worse than that.
Oh.
She stands up and she says, "I want to thank my mom who was always there. Dad, you didn't come to a single game."
Whoa! My.
no.
And he was sitting there?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Yeah. And let me tell you.
Direct shot.
I love you, Dad.
And I would like to say, and it got through to him, but not enough to the point where he changed. It didn't change until he almost died. He almost had a heart attack.
Right, I remember that.
It literally became
It's
such an obsession for him. And I don't know the rest of the story because this article was written back in
his health
2012.
really took a bad turn.
But he literally tried his best to become a better person and also try to be a football coach. I don't know if it worked for him or not, but I mean this when I say it's a sickness.
Yeah.
And every one of these articles almost that I'm reading, I'm listening to this guy, Rosie, the great athletes, the great coaches, the people who are really great at things, it's a sickness.
It's a cliche, but there are many of those coaches who are completely unaware of what's going on in the world. I don't mean like, the Palestinian debacle right now and what's going on with Israel. I mean anything that's going on in the real world. They are completely oblivious to. They have no idea because they're so focused on getting the next player signed, the next practice, the next game, the next this. It's not healthy.
It's different level though. Like if Kevin O'Connell doesn't know that Kendrick and Drake are beefy,
right?
That's very
true.
different than I don't know where my kids are this weekend because I don't care. Right. So if Urban Meyer's that far down the rabbit hole, then that is a sickness, and that's just pathetic.
And again, this is all, by the way, the article all happened before the Jacksonville Jaguars debacle. So I don't even know what that was about. Right. I have no idea.
Well, and you may have said this, Hawk. I apologize.
No, I don't know.
But in that documentary we watched about the football team, the second they won the national championship, he's back in his office on the phone calling recruits. He's barely celebrating.
That is part of this article.
Yeah.
That is right before he had basically a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Urban Meyer also really good at just putting his hand palm up on a bar stool and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
You know what? We've all accidentally done that.
I love you, Dad.
I did that to Rosie a little bit earlier, and I apologized.
No, you didn't.
You will hear some of the great coaches in all kinds of sports, and men and women, talk about the fact that the losses sting and hurt and stay with you more than the wins feel good and positive. And even that is sad.
You're summing up every gambler I know. Every single
Well, that's kind
one
of true
of
now
us.
that you say
So then
that.
you're motivated by the pain versus the euphoria of the joy.
Well, that is an interesting thing.
So.
That's an interesting thing. But you're right. I mean, it's all an addiction, right? It's all an addiction.
Yeah.
You're all feeding whatever the darkness is inside you, right? Jeez Louise, man. I'm telling you, these articles have been any good sports writer I love, man. But when this guy's from what's the state where New Orleans is at? Louisiana, and he reads his own articles. And I love the guy's accent anyway. Holy moly, is it a good book? I'll say it one more time.
That's good stuff.
The Cost of These Dreams by Wright Thompson. Really, really good.
All right.
Good recommendation.
Thank you.
right, let's try this.
All right.
You guys are the competitors, but you're also going to be the judges. So you're going to decide who wins the game that you're playing. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
I have a list of a whole bunch of misunderstood sayings in the United States.
Oh, boy.
I say the saying and the state that it's from. You guys all guess, and then you guys can decide who got the closest.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
First one, since Martin's is from the Dakotas, she might have this.
Somewhere.
One of them.
Number one. In South Dakota, Marins, what are taverns?
In South Dakota, taverns they're bars. They're watering holes.
Rosie?
Well, that's the logical answer, but it probably isn't the right answer. I would say they're more like convenience stores that serve alcohol.
Sauce?
Watering holes.
Okay, so everybody's kind of gone that theme. Chris?
I think they're hotels.
Oh, that's a good.
I'm going to vote and say none of you even were remotely close. Okay. In South Dakota, they're a sandwich similar to Sloppy Joe's. That's
really?
They call taverns.
Tavern is a sandwich?
Oh.
Yep.
Well, that's something.
To our South Dakota listeners, they can confirm on Twitter if that's correct.
All right.
How about Dirty Bird in Kentucky? Maybe Chris knows this one.
That should be
Careful, Hawk.
Atlanta.
Dirty Bird in Kentucky. What is a dirty bird in Kentucky? Anybody have a...
I would say it was sort of a bourbon drink.
Yeah, that's not a bad guess.
So you're going to drink.
Kentucky bourbon.
Orange, you got a gut?
It feels like a drive-through item at a local Kentucky-based fast food restaurant.
Such as?
A chicken.
Can you think of it
with gravy on it?
Based
Fried
fast
chicken,
food joint?
A KFC.
It is
chicken
slang
breast
for
with-
KFC.
Oh, nice
Dirty
going,
Bird
Morris.
is slang for KFC.
I got there.
Boink.
Wow.
I got
that was
there
very
with,
good.
with some help.
Boink.
Try this one. Very good.
Oh, your beezers.
In Montana,
What are they called?
the Beezers?
What do you got? What are those called again?
Blinks.
The blinks. Thank you.
The beezers.
Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
I didn't show you my beezer.
Whoa.
That was Beezer with a Z. Everybody calm down. She's got a job tonight. In Montana, what is a borrow pit?
Montana.
BORROW. What's a borrow
Is it
pit?
two words?
Yes.
Borrow.
Is that where the lady was in Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, good Lord. That's so...
Precious.
What a visual. Oh, it's creepy.
This is tough.
Solution.
Borrow
What's a
pit.
borrow pit in Montana?
It's a bank.
A borrow pit.
It's
Bathtub.
when you gather around
man.
the campfire.
I think it's isn't it like a trash dump?
Anybody else?
Oh. What do you do?
I don't know.
Is it a food item?
No.
Is it a lady of the night?
No, this one's tough.
Is it Hawk's sister?
It is a ditch along the side of the road. That's a
Oh.
borrow pit.
That's
Okay.
a weird thing. I
Yeah.
wonder why that's called that. That's weird.
Yeah.
How about this one? What does carry mean in Mississippi? CARRY.
Carry me?
What does it mean?
The word carry.
Yeah.
What is carry?
CARRY.
To go?
And what word
In
again?
Mississippi,
Is it a verb?
it's slang for what?
Is it a verb like an action or
It is
a
an
physical
action.
object?
The hell's
it is
a
an
verb?
action.
It's a verb.
It's a way to say that you got a gun on you.
Be blown by the wind.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. If that was it, you'd stand outside all day, Hawk.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. I'm not good at this job.
And
I don't know.
Is it to have a cocktail? On the go.
See if Mars can
Somebody
get it.
riding piggyback.
Is it a purse?
Marnes is kind of the closest.
Okay,
Kind
it's
of.
it's lifting another human.
Lift is the key word, but
Lift
It's a brassiere.
your shirt.
no, it's another
up
way
your
of saying
shirt.
you're
Lift.
giving somebody a lift.
Oh, a ride.
You're essentially, exactly.
Carry me.
So you
That
were
makes
close.
sense.
The piggyback
So-
factor was close,
Sure,
but just, I
sure.
think it's more
Yeah.
vehicle related.
That makes
We're
sense.
very far off on all of these.
Marnes is pretty good.
Speak for
Marnes is
yourself.
killing it.
I've never heard of any.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
All right, let's see. A couple of you have spent significant time in New York. You guys have spent some time in New York.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In New York, what does the phrase grill mean?
Teeth.
It's a restaurant, isn't it?
You're guessing the obvious one. It's clearly not going to mean that.
No.
The Grill in New York is the best restaurant I've ever been to.
That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Really?
What kind of food?
It's a steakhouse, and they have creme brulee hot donuts, and they are outstanding.
A grill.
And in this case is grill and
This is an act.
I think I know. I'm not
action?
kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it the thing that goes over the thing in the ground where the sewer is?
That's an actual grill.
Okay,
the
sorry,
Marilyn Monroe.
Captain.
I don't know if you
Great.
understand
You
this
are
game.
great.
Marge, you can do this.
Okay. It is. It involves heat. It's searing or more of a coolness, less of a heat.
It is searing, kind of.
Yeah, it's a sound.
Sorry, I couldn't find that.
Oh, that's
Oh, you're cheating!
Is that when you ask people a bunch of questions? Like the cops
Like you're
talking to you?
grilling.
No.
Again,
a
too
suspect?
obvious.
You're getting closer, though.
Kisses.
Searing. It's pain.
No,
No,
you're
I
going the
didn't- I
wrong
didn't
direction.
Is it what they
I
cook
meant-
hot dogs on?
No, that's an actual grill. In New York, apparently, if you grill someone, it means to stare at them rudely.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that.
Never heard that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I usually call that mean mugging.
Yeah, I like that too. I like to be
People don't
mean
like to
mugged. I like it when
be
a lady
stared
mean
at
mugs
in
me.
New York.
Yeah.
I like it when she scares me, like mean mugs me.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
like
Huck,
it.
like
Marnie's mugging you right
I
now.
can tell I
People are
can't look
sassy.
over there because it's too close to the end of the show.
All right, last one. Just try this one. Anybody ever been to Maine?
No, they have amazing blueberry pie, I've heard.
Well, that's a great story. No, the answer is just simply no.
It's one of the few states I haven't been to.
I've been to Maine.
Oh, I think I was at Lewiston. Is that Maine? Yeah, I was in the airport or something.
Oh,
I don't
Nobody
know.
knows.
Nobody cares.
In Maine, what does right out straight mean? Right out straight.
Right with an R or a WR?
With an R.
Like, keep it real.
R-I-G-H-T.
Like,
Right
keep it real, I mean.
out straight.
You're taking your boat straight out.
Give me the
Main
facts.
That means
Right out straight.
That they're perky.
If you missed
It's
it,
a
Rosie.
good guess.
It's a hell of a guess.
Hawk was looking up Christie Canyon earlier today.
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
my
first
favorite
hour
park in
of
Utah.
the show.
yeah. Rosie knows.
In Maine, if you
It's,
say that you're right out straight, that means you're super busy.
Oh, no kidding.
Huh.
I'm right out
Why don't you
straight.
just say you're super busy?
Yeah,
I don't know. These people
what's
talk
going
weird.
on?
Yeah.
I don't know why these people are doing what they're doing.
These people-
A record 4.1 million Americans are going to turn 65 this year, and within the next 6 years, seniors are on pace to outnumber children.
Yes.
my God.
Jesus.
My God.
Like, kids are overrated.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I don't understand this stat at all because I would guess it's the absolute opposite. But a survey of more than 2.4 million people found that being online can have a positive effect on a person's well-being.
What?
Huh?
I thought it was just the opposite.
100% the opposite.
Yeah.
I find it
It's
like, I don't know.
it's getting worse.
I don't even know how to
Well,
describe
it depends on
It's just so
what
awful.
you are like. Are you online shopping and buying beautiful things for your
Hawk is right
home?
now.
What if you're online donating to charity?
What if you're
Wonderful.
online?
I don't
I
think
can
that's
see
what
how
they had
that
in
would
mind.
have a
Christie
positive
Canyon
effect.
videos on YouTube.
Yeah, somebody could do that probably, maybe. I don't know why you bring that name up in particular.
One of the worst sounds a human being can hear is somebody knocking on your door or ringing your doorbell, right? It's like,
Correct.
oh, for God's sakes, another human being.
It's
What are
at
you
my house.
interrupting me for? I'm almost done.
Oh,
With dinner.
Poll ask people what their first reaction is when they get an unexpected knock at the door.
Get the gun.
Are you curious, annoyed, or excited? Which category would you fall in? Curious, annoyed, or excited if you get an unexpected knock at the door?
You know,
I am 100% in the
Can I say
annoyed
a caveat?
category.
it depends on the time of day.
well said. Yes. Very, very well said.
Let's go
Hawks.
4 p.m.
Okay, 4 p.m.
Oh, I'm pissed
I'm
'cause-
curious.
No. No, I'm kidding.
I think a knock on the door sounds
I think
more
I'm
ominous
annoyed.
than a ringing the
Yeah,
doorbell.
annoyed's right. Annoyed's right because you know it's probably somebody trying to.
Yeah,
open
I'm
the
annoyed.
windows or-
Because almost
Sell you
now,
something.
if it's somebody you want to see, they would have said, "I'm on my way," or "I'll see you in a
Yeah,
little bit."
correct.
Yes.
There's no more surprise knocking. So the knock on the door means salesperson, problem, some
Right.
neighbor kid. You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, just
Yeah.
let me
Needs to be
watch
bailed
poker. I'm
out.
trying to sit in my
Don't
62-degree
need a
basement. I don't need to
Yeah.
answer doorbells."
I don't want to
Jesus.
buy.
No.
Yeah.
There was a time when
I don't
people
need gutters.
would knock on your door, neighbors, because that's the only way you can get a hold of
Jim
someone.
Neighbors?
Jim who?
Jim who?
Whoa.
Max doesn't know who Jim Neighbors is. Yeah, that would be the only way of communicating. So you wouldn't be scared about it or annoyed because, oh, it's my neighbor. Now it's like, yeah, why didn't you text me? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you? Don't
Well, and
come
again,
over to the
calling
house.
somebody is psychotic. without a pretext. Like, hey, do you got a couple of minutes? Just flat out calling somebody, that's for psychos.
Somebody tell Common that.
What? Oh,
I do that all the time. I'll even do it like, hey, you got 2 minutes to talk? I text first. I don't want to just call somebody.
Common, this is a true story.
He doesn't call people.
Common one time called me. It was 5 o'clock on a Friday. Kelly had just finished making dinner. I put my phone down, put it on speakerphone, and put it on mute, and we had dinner as he went on talking. And then every couple of seconds, I'd go, yeah, that sounds great.
He actually called you?
An hour. Yeah, I love Common. I do like when he calls.
Sounds like it.
Normally texts you.
No, he calls me all the time.
He just wanted to have dinner with you.
Yeah.
Does he know? Has he heard that you do this, that you just mute him and just let him talk?
Not till now.
He's on the golf course right now.
Not till now.
Thanks, Crackhead.
I got to think he's going to stop calling.
No,
he won't.
If he knows you're muting him.
No.
You know you're on camera, right?
Yeah, no, I know. He's not watching this.
No, but somebody's going to tell him that you were praying that he stops calling.
Larry Mondello guy will tell him.
He always hears about whatever we talk about in the morning because he always brings it up to me later in the day. Yeah.
And then
I think Common is a great guy, hilarious,
yeah, he's
full
funny
of
man.
fresh bits and material, and I just idolize him.
Lawrence, when do you play Password? When's your tournament matchup?
It's at the end of the month.
End of the month.
Who
Okay.
plays? Somebody play tomorrow.
It's actually the day
Friday.
before we go to Fargo for the live show.
Oh, right on.
I thought you were teammates with Carly. Is that not right?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was this week.
So it's Barb and Robbie versus
Muss
and Common. And then you and I, Sauce, next week against Gerdsey and Nordo.
That'll be great.
And then apparently the following week, Carly and Marnie versus...
Greg Swedberg and Charge.
That's a big one.
I'm rooting for Saucy and Corey.
They're the favorites.
Y'all in my squad now.
Because Max loves 2G lax on dubs.
I don't understand what that is. I hope that's not a
and riding 30-inch Lorenzo.
Oh, you are straight up riding
Juven Wayne.
Do you know who I'm rooting for?
No, careful. Christy Canyons.
The Wolves in the Wild.
Yep.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
I meant the Wolves.
Late night tonight.
Go Wolves. Go Lynx. Go Twins.
Done.
Go all them.
Lawrence, you're an American treasure. We'll see you Friday in Duluth.
So that's correct. I would say regional at best, but the Lynx open their season tonight at Seattle. We'll be on Valley Sports North Plus at 9 p.m.
Rosie, we'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.
Thank you.
9 to noon is next. Chris Finch, head coach of the Wolves, right off the bat.